Good morning, family. Today's scripture message comes from the Bible app. It is John chapter 1, verses 4 through 5. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. And when I read that, I went to the Bible Project on YouTube, looked up John, and what struck me as so amazing is how they describe, and this is from the book of John, where John introduces everyone to Jesus as the eternal word. And he starts out, like it said in Genesis, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And he was in the beginning with God, talking about Jesus Christ. And on the Bible Project, they showed a picture which really, I was amazed that it showed the description of how God's mind was in Jesus, or Jesus was in God's mind. Let me see if I can pull this up and see if I can pull the picture up and show y'all.
Of Lazarus, which creates the greatest controversy as Israel's leaders decide to kill Jesus, and that launches into the book's second half. These chapters focus on Jesus.
Well, let me stop that real quick. So, what it showed was our mind, our head, we were created in the form of God, and God was able to speak life into existence. And when he spoke life into existence, the word was Jesus. And when God spoke it, and this is what I believe, so correct me if I'm wrong, if my interpretation is not correct, but when God spoke life and said, "Let there be light," and light came in and darkness didn't comprehend it, like the scripture said, the Bible Project shows a picture of a head and a brain, and like it was God speaking. And so when it says the Word was God and the Word was with God, it showed, and it had a description that when we think something and we speak it, we give it life. And so my message to that is that we have the power, or God has given us the power to speak life over our lives. So when you're faced with a situation, you have the option, you have the choice, the free will to speak good or bad in your life. You have the ability to say whether this is going to be a good situation or a bad situation. A friend that I was talking to got a new car and immediately said, because I got the car, I know somebody's going to da-da-da, and said something negative. And I stopped her and I said, no. I said, you speak life over your situation. I told her, I said, you just reminded me of the message that I read this morning. And so I'm telling myself, Felicia, speak life over your situation. I believe that I have been put in a position where I see what happens when people speak negative over their situations. I have been speaking life over my finances, and I believe that I am going to get out of the financial situation that I'm in. I don't speak anything bad over that. But I have been speaking negative over my personal life, or over, relationships before they even began. And now I'm going to see, and I'm going to, like the Bible said, oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. God said, try me and see if I won't provide. So Felicia, try to speak life over everything. I speak life over my job. I speak life over my finances. I speak life over my family. And there's always been one area of my life that I have spoke negative over. And it's taken a while for me to even get to the point of not speaking negative over it. So I'm glad that I was able to observe other people speaking negative and what happens when I speak negative over a situation, so that I can get and understand this message, that if I speak life over my own situation, I can watch the light of God's love in my life. I can see all of the good, all of the positive. Just like God spoke light and spoke Jesus and spoke the earth and spoke everything into existence, into darkness, God has given us a little bit of that power to speak life over our lives. So that's my message today, family, is to let that light shine in darkness, and darkness will not understand it. And light does take away the darkness. I believe that. I trust God for that, because he is showing us an example of how he did it. So I'm going to lean on those examples. Sorry for getting the video kind of mixed up and not having it prepared. But like I said, I try to just do this, off the top of my head, not a preacher, not preparing anything, but just want to let y'all understand and know my thought process, that with this scripture, God gives us the power to speak life over our lives. And what we speak is going to happen. If we speak negative, it's going to happen. If we speak positive, it's going to happen. So I choose to speak life today. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Bye.